So today we are going to be discussing God's definition of age. God's definition of age. And like I've tried to explain several times, God is not religious the way he has been presented or he has made himself appear to be. He's actually a super practical person. He's actually hyper practical. He's unbelievably practical. He has no regard for anything that doesn't work. He just gives that religious side for starters. It's like a starter course. So if you are faithful with those blind instructions, then you get to the practical side. But if you keep on thinking you're smart, then you remain there forever. And that's what creates that wilderness journey. Remember the wilderness journey, for those who are not familiar, when the Israelites were set free from Egypt, because of their disobedience, they had to keep on going around the wilderness for 40 years until all of them were eliminated. 40 years has significance, but we're not going to go into all those things today. You can watch the earlier videos to have a better understanding of that. The significance of Israel's 40-year slavery. Yeah, it's a video I made. You can check it out. I will link it in the descriptions. So now, in that light, to bring us back to God's definition of age, the practical side. For example, I'll start off with a very simple example. We'll get to the one that is more, that we can use for a longer period of time, but it's just a very, very basic example. It's not that usable, but for you to get a picture. For example, now because God is light, so his own definition of age is like your degree of discernment. It's basically a degree of discernment. The more you can see, the older you are, as far as it's concerned. Like Africans, they have this proverb, which is, they keep on saying that what an elder can see sitting down, a youth cannot see even if he climbs the tallest tree. It's funny because it doesn't really apply. Africa is ruled by old people typically, and you can see how undeveloped it is, how they actually run it into the ground. So it actually doesn't apply to them, but they keep on saying it and they keep on trying to use it to bully young people into obeying their stupid instructions. Because what they just happens with human beings typically is that the person grows old but never fixes his mistakes. And that, as far as God is concerned, is not growth. It's just your flesh that is growing, your mind hasn't grown. The mistakes you're making as a youth, you're still making them now. So it's zero growth. You aren't old, in his eyes, you're still a baby. But so on a simple level, so growth would be the improvement in your mind, your ability to discern more now, you are wiser now, you have fixed your mistakes. But that is still like a baby level. God's actual definition of age is your degree of discernment, no matter how old you are. So in that light, we'll go into 3 phases. There is, if you can discern, if you can see visible things, that, as far as it's concerned, that is illusion of light, because you're not producing light. Because light is supposed to reveal, you have to understand this. Light is supposed to reveal things. When there is darkness and light comes in, it reveals things that nobody could see before because of the darkness. So for you to be a light, it means you have to discover things, you have to reveal things that people could not see before. So if you are seeing visible things that everybody knows, popular ideas, that's all you know, that's all you can see, then as far as it's concerned, you are illusion of light. You do not produce light, you receive light. You're not a sun, you are a moon. You are receiving light, you're not producing it. So the moon receives light from the sun and reflects it to us. It looks like it's producing light, but it actually is not. That is illusion of light. The moon is an illusion of light. The sun is actual light because it is the sun that is producing the light. The moon is receiving the light and it's looking like it is producing it. So when you can see visible things that have already been discovered, everybody already knows, or is right there on the nose, as they say, that it's on the nose. It's so obvious. When you can see obvious things, you are not in light as far as he is concerned. which is that is as far as eternity is concerned, that is the reality. When they push it to the extreme, is when you are you get this on a superficial level, I think you have done something. So that is like half. That is illusion of light. You have not really produced anything. Then we get to the ones. Those are those that can see hidden things that are supposed to be hidden from them, things that are hidden. They can see into the darkness. They can see through darkness. That is like on a simple level, maybe you are trying to lie to me, and I can see through the lie. And I am sure, I'm not guessing, like I am sure that this thing is a lie. I can see through the lie. So you're not giving me light. You're trying to give me darkness, but I can see the light in spite of the darkness that you are projecting at me. Then that's where God actually begins. That's where God begins to call light. Those are the actual light. And so when you okay, let's finish and we'll give a summary. Then the third phase, this is the phase where human beings can actually get to. This third phase is where you can see inverted things, where things are turned upside down. That is when they, for example, when they say good is evil and evil is good. So you're raised, so to speak, for example, you're raised being taught that this thing is right even though it is wrong. But you on your own, without anybody telling you, you looked at it, then you're able to correct it and say, this thing is wrong and this thing is right. They tell you that this is wrong and this is right. But you on your own, you're able to look and discern and assess for yourself and say, no, this one that you say is wrong is actually the one that is right. And this one that you say is right is actually the one that is wrong. When you can correct, then that is God level light, which no human being has attained. Not because he made it impossible, not because it is impossible to attain or it is restricted, but because human beings are not willing to make that kind of sacrifice for righteousness. They are not willing to sacrifice that much for the truth. Their degree of willingness to condemn themselves or to condemn their own original position is not that great. Because at this level, you can see you're told that this is right and this is wrong. Then you are saying that this is wrong and this is right. So you are inverting it. And you are condemning your own original position, not just saying you are wrong, but literally is condemnation now of your own original position. So human beings don't really get there. At least not for the sake of righteousness. They will get there for the sake of wickedness. Like the way the world is now, that they say good is evil and evil is good. I keep on going back. I'm not hung up on homosexuals, but I keep on going back to that example because it's like one of the most obvious ones. But generally, like the way like now, you can see even in video games, like God of War and other general video games now, there's a video game they made recently. They will do it as if it's just a name, but the name of video games actually Godfall. They keep on trying to present this image like God is this stupid being that it's time to throw him down. So I'm just laughing, no problem. You throw him down. That's what he wants. You see, let's see you succeed at it. So when you finish succeeding, then we'll start fixing it. But you can see, like in God of War, you have a character like Kratos that is extremely stupidly. Yeah, Kratos from every level. If you have played that game, and I am a fan of God of War. I love the game. Don't. But I'm just telling you this to do what they are doing, in spite of my like of the action aspect of the game. Kratos is a infinitely morally bankrupt person. If in terms of character, he has no character. Even the most basic type of character that you can have, gratitude. Because why gratitude is the easiest character to conceive is because you are virtually forced into it. You cannot be grateful without anything being done to you. For them to require gratitude of you means I did something for you, I did you a favor. So that means I have inspired it, I have given you a foundation for it, so I have helped you to show at least a little bit of character. So if you cannot produce gratitude, it means that there's nothing that can be done for you. Because all other forms of morality may require you maybe being generous. It means you have to do it on your own. I didn't do anything for you. You are doing it for me. So you are producing that morality from scratch. Kindness, patience, you're producing it from scratch because maybe I'm giving you the wrong impetus. I'm being stupid and you have to be patient. I'm giving you reasons to be impatient, but you are being patient. But with gratitude, I'm giving you reason to be grateful, and even after giving you reason to be grateful, you still cannot produce the gratitude. It means you are really mad. And that's how Kratos is. He's so morally bankrupt. He's a very savage, very wicked, but ultimately, he's a very even gratitude he cannot produce. If you play the game in, I think, part one and part two, Athena had done a lot for him, but even to be grateful to her, even gratitude, that clown could not produce. But when you watch the game, they keep on. That's why it's called the God of War. He keeps on killing gods. This morally bankrupt idiot. Especially in this latest one, the one where he's an old man. They keep on trying to make the gods look like they're the evil ones that need to be brought down by this wicked, useless, immorally bankrupt fool of a man that just has power, just knows how to fight. So where did this point even come from? But that's an example of them turning things upside down, trying to say God is evil and man is the savior. So man that is literally destroying the planet every day. You can see it. Is the one that is the savior now, and God that created the planet is the one that is the enemy that needs to be destroyed. No problem. You destroy him, then you see how you live. Since the person that created it should be destroyed, and you that is destroying it should be preserved, you end up destroying yourself and what you are. It's so stupid. It's so bloody stupid. The stupidity of a human being is just incredible. But is that what that's what conceit does? It makes you mad. When you have a overly high estimation of yourself, you can't see anything clearly. So no problem. God is the bad guy, and human beings are the good guys. There's no problem. Mm. So, aha. So when you get to the God level, you'll be able to see inverted things. You're able to make inverted corrections on the other way around. You're able to take things from abominable states back to the holy. Well, so that's where the point came from. That now I remember. So a human being can take things, especially the most wicked of them, which is what the generation we are in now that control the media and all the Hollywood and all the how do they call those? That the Illuminati conspiracy nonsense. That whatever that whole people at the top, that they are 1% clowns that are thinking they are ruling the world. They're thinking they are so powerful, nothing that was given to them on a platter. So you can see how they are able to take how they took things from holy and made it unholy, and are calling the holy unholy. They are calling the holy unholy. So they are now making God to be a devil, while they, human beings that have always been known to be the devils, always been known to be the problem of any place they go to. Their problems to animals, their problems to themselves, their problems to society, their problems to environment, their problems. Even if you put 10 human beings in a place, before anything you have problem, and the problem is always human beings. Even they themselves, they will tell you when they make a system, their robots are more reliable than they themselves. They are always the problem. But that human being now is now the hero. And then the God is now the problem. So no problem. That problem that you say God is the problem, God will leave you so far away. You will look for God with your blood. That's sacrifice you have been making. You will look for God, you will not find him. If he can present himself on a platter of gold, no problem. And then you are rejecting him. He is shit. He should go away. You want abominations. You will eat abominations and you will look for God. You will find him. But I've gotten off the point. So human beings can, even if it comes to the abominable side, they can take things from good. They can invert it. But it's only God that can take things from abominable back to righteous. No human being can do it. Even when they try to, their arguments aren't strong enough, because they keep on coming up with religious arguments instead of practical arguments. The arguments aren't strong enough because they were not willing to. They basically ain't faithful enough. If I'm to put it simply, their faithfulness doesn't go that far, so their discernment doesn't go that deep. Because faithfulness is what produces discernment, like I've explained before. In I think in my series about discernment, when I said they should There's a video I say, forget experience, search go for this instead. I think this is the part 2. Something about discernment. Something about discernment. I will link it in the description if you want to find it. So we've taken time. I've still not gotten my message across. I think I have to be doing intro before I get into the main thing. So this will be an intro. God's definition of age. This will be introduction, and tomorrow I think I always have to do that introduction because these things are they are not relatable. They are not things that are familiar. So you can't just jump into them. They always have to lay foundations. So I think we'll be doing that from now. Every video we should have, every new topic should have an intro before we get into the main thing. So this will serve as intro. Let's stop here. So tomorrow I'll get into the main issue of the definition of age. I will explain things more clearly so you can relate to them in what is happening now better. So I'll see you then.